And then Aquarius comes along and says, you blew everything. Who's my favorite free-spirited Aquarius?
Right here.
There we go. All right. Standing tall. Look at this here. My girlfriend. Aquarius says, look, follow me. This is really important. You got the blessing to be an Aries. You had free skies. You formed this beautiful hobbit hole with your garden. Remember in the Hobbit, he says, Gandalf says, we're going to take you on an unexpected trip. I'm not going on any trip. Yes, you are. I'm not leaving my Hobbit town. Oh, yes, you are. The 13 dwarfs come in. Uranus that's a Uranus transit. Oh, my God. You had your mind and your brain, and you were talking. You had your love and your family and your heart, and you got out there and showed people your stuff, and you could do it. You were growing, and you put it all together, a nice, clean suit, and you had your perfect career, and you were great at it, and people loved you, and you had your nice young couple vacation at Seven Springs, and you had your beautiful marriage and the family growing in Scorpio, and you went to college and you got good grades, and you rose to the top, and you got to the top, and you're bank president, and you threw it all away. And it's Capricorn said, what are you talking about? I'm at the country club. I got 2.1 kids. What do you mean? I did all the things right. And Aquarius says, I don't care. You threw your individuality out. You see, each sign cannot do it all. They can't do it all. And each sign's learning from the other. And Aquarius has that knee-jerk reaction. It's got to learn that Capricorn sacrificed too much, gave away their spark of individuality and spontaneity. So that's why Aquarius is all about, by God, I'm going to do it my way. Okay? They're not selfish, usually, but they're real hard-headed. If you have ever met an Aquarian male, you have met a stubborn man. They will never go to the doctor. You go to the doctor's office, look under Aquarian men, we don't have anybody. They just don't go because, damn it, I'm not getting sick. You don't even see Aquarian men because they're off by themselves. But they're that's because they're fixed air. They're so sure of themselves mentally. So the Aquarius and the Capricorn, they understand. And by this time, they're not bitter or fighting with each other because their mindset is really devoted to the other. But the Aquarius works very hard to get the soul back together, to get the soul responsible, dutiful, all these things. But how many times have you seen Aquarians who do so well living alone? They really do well living alone. Aquarius has got it all. And in a lot of ways, it's the supreme sign. And the original name of this book was Pisces, the ultimate sign. Then I got a little bit more realistic through thinking through time. Aquarius really is the epitome of the self. But they got to go a long way to get to Pisces. Because the self has all this stuff in its position. Now it's recovered itself. And have you met anybody in your life that's friendlier than your Aquarian friends? No. They remember the last thing they said to you 27 years ago. They're constant. They're fixed. They're fixed friends. They're constant. They're loyal. All the fixed signs are loyal. And that's all covered in the book. But what they do is they have one more problem. They got one more hole. The problem is you can't fit through the eye of the needle. You can't fit a camel through the eye of the needle to get into heaven. You can't take the ego with you to heaven. Now the final stage is the George Harrison stage, where you got to leave the ego behind. And all that everybody worked for 11 stages, all that work to get that strong individuality. I'm not going to say it's for naught, but it's all the illusion. Then who's responsible for this illusion? You wanted to go play by yourself. Michael is a wonderful hypnotist, and he takes you into deep regressive hypnosis. And he's always talking about there's nothing but oneness unless we BS ourselves and we tell ourselves, well, I wonder what it would be like if I went out to play by myself. That's the great fall from heaven. We imagined individuality. What does every single spiritual book say that you've read? Separation is illusion. Separation is illusion. We are one. And Aries had fun, didn't it? But this 11 stages of the dream continued. Oh, if only I had more sex, I'd be all right. Oh, if I only had more red lights on me at the stage.